A string quartet played a funked-up version of Silent Night as Dee slipped away from the small talk to the deserted, dark end of the balcony. She took a moment to soak up the sultry night air and the million-dollar view of Sydney Harbour. Then she stepped out of her stilettos, picked them up, and, one by one, pitched them into the air. As they tumbled in a high, wide arc towards the garden below, she cupped her hands around her mouth and cried, "Instruments of torture!" A soft laugh sounded over her shoulder. Okay, maybe a not-so-deserted balcony. She turned and saw Ethan Roxburgh step into the light spilling from a Christmas tree in the windows behind him. Wow, he looked just like the photos in the newspaper, except he wasn't shaking hands with Mr. Such-and-Such power broker or arm in arm with a glamorous woman. The knot in his tie had been loosened, and his short-cropped dark hair was a little messed up, like he'd been raking his fingers through it. He raised a half-full glass of white wine towards the balcony railing. "Impressive throw." He quirked an eyebrow. "Interesting sentiment. Clearly you've never worn stilettos." "Only in the privacy of my own bedroom." "Oh, so you do understand. I just don't know how the health authorities ever allowed them to pass inspection." "A chiropractic conspiracy, obviously." His smile was cheeky and a laugh bubbled in Dee's throat. She watched him stroll to the edge of the balcony, a little surprised he was alone. According to the gossip columns, Ethan Roxburgh never went anywhere without a Roxburgh girl, the title given to the unfailingly beautiful, well-dressed, sophisticated women who appeared on his arm. He leaned an elbow on the railing, took a sip of wine, studied her over the rim of his glass. Dee crossed one bare foot over the other and studied him back. Tanned complexion, fit-looking, a little intense. Probably more comfortable in a suit than not. Total swoon material if you were into the collar and tie kind of guy. She wasn't. The loosened tie was a good look on him, though, and there was an interesting kind of ruggedness about his eyes. Small wear lines around a liquid, dark chocolate centre. And he could do with some stretching on that tight shoulder. "M, isn't it?" he said. "Excuse me?" "L, then?" "Sorry?" "No, I'm sorry. I heard Lucy introducing you before. I've forgotten your name." Oh, he meant M and L. "No, Dee. I'm Dee." "Sorry, Dee. Nice to meet you." He held out his hand and she took it with a firm grip. "No problem, Nathan. Easy mistake." His eyes popped up for an instant before settling at a bemused angle. Guess Ethan Roxburgh wasn't used to irreverence. He looked at her with renewed interest, a small smile turning up one side of a mouth that was now slightly less intense. "So, what does D stand for? Deanne?" No. "Deirdre?" She looked appalled. "Desdemona?" Dee laughed. "God, no. It's Trudy, but now you know I'll have to throw you over the balcony after my shoes." His eyes flicked to the muscular curve of her upper arms. "I don't doubt you could."